is a lot of needs within the community for additional facilities for recreational use or community gathering places to go, such as
Okay.
parks or similar things.
So can you take, there's a lot of this is in your wheelhouse, right?
Yep.
And if you could, by the next time we meet, at least come up with what that baseline is, and do we have a measurable way of going back and reevaluating, maybe the same questions or maybe the same survey?
Yep.
And then where do we want to bump that from a 15% to a 50%? I don't know. We want to come up with that number.
I agree. So USU is the one that put on the community wellness survey. We've done it the past 4 years, 2 out of the past 4 years. So every other year. So you're correct on that, biannual. And then we can compare ourselves to other communities as well, where we fall within other communities. When it comes to individual wellness, we are in the upper half, the low upper half. When it comes to community wellness, we are almost dead last.
Okay. Well, we have some fun things to work on and improve on, right?
Correct.
And so,
Good to know that's in place.
Yeah.
That survey
Yep.
and
Yeah.
that data.
Yeah, I mean, I have it here, but
Start from there and go.
yeah. So if you'll kind of play with this a little bit
For sure.
and work with Bill, and maybe you can come up with some more exact numbers on it.
Yep.
Perfect. Okay, let's go. Yeah.
The question, though, and I don't mean to interrupt, but the question is, if it comes back that we were at, I don't know, 15% satisfaction, should we then form, again, it is a little bit arbitrary, but the goal is to get to 80% in 5 years, or to, if we're already at 80%, do we want to stay at 80%?
I think you're kind of saying you threw that up just because, but with this data, we could use that as the baseline and then set a goal off of where we're at.
This 80% is not.
Okay, well,
Probably
It's just a
lofty,
set
I would
number,
think.
it's just a number right now.
what I'm trying to get at is, are we looking for, if we're already high, and acknowledging that it's never going to be 100%,
Correct.
unless we like pave the streets with gold and, whatever, which we're not doing. Do we, if it's already at a 95% satisfaction, we know it's not, but if it were, could we just say maintain a 95%, or
No, I think we always push for better.
we push for,
Go 97 or we
90.
go some other number. The thing is that number, even if it's a 3 or 4%, gives department heads,
something to strive for?
okay, how can we bump this up even a little bit more and a little bit more? And so I think we always strive, even if we have to eventually, even if we eventually say we're going to have 100%.
Does the survey give feedback on improvement ideas from
there
in
is some
same?
comment, I believe, or I pulled up the 2022 also, and there was more public comment on that, on what it's, but it's more categories. So there's mental health, there's physical health are two of the main ones that are high importance to them and they want the most of, right? But that's also where they feel that we lack the most.
Could that be a good starting point for how we set these goals?
Absolutely. And
Follow the structure of how they've done it so that we can just circle back at the same,
it could be, absolutely.
knowing that that's there.
And it covers everything from affordable housing. It covers, I mean, there's a wide spectrum of things. I think the most things that is the community services and things that we're lacking the most on
Okay.
currently. So
So it looks like you have a little bit of homework ahead of you, huh?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Okay, any other comments on this page?
I was just going to ask, could we get our hands on that survey?
yep.
Yeah,
So that's
it's available.
something
In
that
fact, you can go to USU, the Wellness Survey, USU Wellness Survey, and there's several communities that participated in it. You just click on Tremont and away you go.
and I'll include it in my department head report
Okay.
for this month also.
Great. Bill?
I just wanted to say that there is a level at which excellence and striving for excellence makes sense, but then tying it to a person's performance evaluation and that kind of thing, we just need to be careful of that, because Zach is, and I'm using Zach because he's here at the table, but we have department heads that are fantastic and motivated and very excellent at what they do. And the metrics of getting them to a higher plane is going to be difficult. And it shouldn't be tied to what the public says on a survey. That's my only word of caution. And I hope I'm trying to articulate this in a way that doesn't quite.
But everything that happens depends on funding and all that stuff.
Well, sure. And so that's the other thing is that
Or even our fault
there
if
are
it's
metrics
just-
that are outside of Zach's immediate control. And so it's not fair for Zach to be on the spot for the way that the Parks and Rec goes if we don't give him the proper funding, support, training, personnel, equipment, all of those things. So if we don't support him in those goals, we can't then very well turn around and say, well, you're down to 50% approval rating on Parks and Rec. We're going to take away your salary and cut your budget by half. That's just,
Yeah, I don't know that's really,
I'm not saying it is. I'm just,
would never go there, I wouldn't think.
that's the caution that I want to just put in there.
I think we need to look at this more as instead of a punitive type system, but more of a,
Aspirational.
yes, absolutely, and help give everyone an opportunity to work towards common goals in the city and
And a
improve.
team thing, it's,
Yeah.
you take all of us.
Personal well-being was 68% and community well-being was 36%.
They were what?
6%
Okay,
is our baseline. That's where we're at.
yeah, well,
Well, that's great. There's a lot of room to grow.
great. Okay, well, thanks for that caution. Okay, next, Pillar 1, we're going to start on Pillar 1. Strengthen community bonds. Launch 5 neighborhood connection programs such as block parties and welcome to the community initiatives. Any number on here is arbitrary, okay? Let's adjust. Enhance public spaces for connection and relaxation. Develop 3 multi-use parks with walking trails, splash pads, and family-friendly activities. We may want to see something like that, such as, rather than, if we put it this way, that means we will have 3 splash pads, and I think we need to be a little careful of that language, designate quiet zones or nature preserves for relaxation and mindfulness, and foster vibrancy and enjoyment. Host 8 large-scale annual events. I think we're close to that now.
Are you considering the farmer's market as a large-scale
Yes.
event?
Uh-huh.
Is that each one as its own large-scale event?
We
or-
could define it either way.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you've got quite a bit. And so anyway, if you'll look at those really closely as well, Zach.
Yep.
And then partner, and then I put in some things in here to go with our local businesses and with industry to try get some economic development discussion going, okay? Partner with local businesses to create unique family-focused activities. We already do some of that with some of the things we're doing downtown with Halloween walk and Christmas. I think we do some things, and there's a lot we already do, but let's get those on there and let's try to improve on what we're doing. Any thoughts on these 3?
I think, if we can just, I think we need to have time to really digest all of this. These are kind of ideas at this point, and I think, it'd be nice to meet, and go through some of this with some of our directors and that kind of thing. So
agree.
I just think this is just sort of introducing this idea.
And then, Bill, agreeing with you, Mayor, if any of the, they want to add, subtract from this and that, just make some comments and notes and we'll move forward.
Absolutely.
Okay. And then, at some point, I'd really like to get some of the public input into it as well, so that'd be great. Okay, the next one. Celebrate community gratitude. Establish an annual community gratitude day with activities that highlight Tremont's values and heritage. And I'm kind of thinking that's separate of our heydays, just something to show gratitude. Encourage resident engagement through interactive campaigns or events. And so we would want to come up with some ideas on that. Balance growth and connection. Implement zoning policies that prioritize community-focused development. I know you're working on that, Jeff and Bill, through your form-based code. But that could be built into this goal. Maintain small-town charm by avoiding overcrowding and promoting thoughtful planning. And so I think that also, through our form-based code, could help take care of some of that with that in mind. Honor veterans and celebrate their contributions. Maintain and enhance the downtown square memorial as a place of reflection and gratitude. I think that's part of the plan. Host annual events honoring veterans and POWs. Partner with schools and community groups to create educational programs about veterans' sacrifices. I'd love to see the city take on that initiative, because we are a city of veterans and a lot of heritage.
Yeah.
Should we do that right now on a Memorial Day? We always honor the veterans, and the city puts that on. I mean, I think we're doing that.
I think we are doing a good job of that, yes. So, any thoughts or ideas on that?
Some things I see is it's hard to hold that to our community when, even like the veterans, because it's a Valley veterans, thing over there, memorial, and it's just hard to try to keep our citizens separate, which we can't on some of them, but some of them we can. Some of these, since we're footing the bill for a lot of these, we're still involving a lot of the surrounding area and community.
And that's,
I really like this idea of working with schools and perhaps even getting some of the, I've been going back and forth with some students on another project that they'd like to get involved with the city, and the youth city council are looking for things that they can do, bringing some programs and that kind of thing, and cooperating with the schools, I think is just the schools and the youth city council and other groups. I can get excited about that.
yeah, and where we're just baking this right now, I agree with you. What's going to be interesting is how do we come up with a way of measuring that we're being successful in that area? And I think that's what you're getting at. And so we'll have to be kind of specific in what that measurement may be. Yeah. Okay, next one.
I have some comments on
Yeah.
that.
Yes.
In the past, I feel that the Parks and Recreation Department has been always in the position of it's good enough, and never in the position of what's be something great. And this has kind of always been my values, what we've strived for, yet we've never really had the tools to do so. Now that we do, we're in the infancy of having more tools, such as an community events person, coordinator. I don't want to get this position confused with the downtown manager that we previously had. They were not the same position. That was strictly focused on economic events in the downtown area alone. This new position is based on a lot of these things, and now that we have that person in place, I feel that we're in the infancy to actually do this. We've talked about events and Gaga Ball. If you've seen Gaga Ball, that's a huge thing, right? About getting our elementary schools having competitions with each other in fitness activities to have a party with the Gaga pit that we own. So we're starting that. I think it's a great idea to add the veteran portion and invite them down.
Well, the thing that's exciting about this too, Zach, is once we establish these goals and everything, and Bill brought this up, now all of a sudden our budgeting, everything we do is departments and everything drives towards this end. And so if this is what the public and everyone wants to move towards, that's where we're going to prioritize our budgets and our money and our values. And so it may even move faster with these kind of goals in
Well,
front.
and it's, I watched was it Friday night or Saturday night? You had daddy-daughter dance.
Saturday night.
Well attended. I mean, just packed. And right afterwards, all the fathers and their daughters were out getting ice cream at Sweet Score. And, it really does spawn. And my father-in-law came from Payson and my dad came, so it really does trigger economic development too. Like it brings people out and gets them doing stuff.
That's one of the major benefits of Parks and Recreation and doing
Yep.
it correctly is the economic benefit. When we host softball tournaments,
Yep.
we bring in $15,000 into the city, and then plus that's just our portion, right? And then we pay most of that out to umpires, and then all the food that's being eaten from 25 teams of 10 to 15 girls a team. I mean, that's significant when we have these tournaments. So it is a driving factor that we are striving to do more of. So
It's exciting. Yeah. Okay. Outcome, by 2030, Tremont City will be a thriving, family-friendly community where neighbors feel connected, veterans are honored, and residents enjoy a vibrant, engaging, and balanced quality of life. So that's what we hope to accomplish with this pillar. Like I said, please wordsmith away. The only concern, one of the concerns I have is I don't want to just keep coming back and talking. Let's move. Let's get this thing going. As city council, please look at this, make recommendations, comments, anything you can on this. Let's not be passive. Let's be very aggressive on moving forward with this, and let's do the same on the city level with department heads, with Bill. Okay, pillar 2, connected to each other. Go ahead, Wes.
Strategic SMART goal by 2030, position Tremont City is the most connected, accessible, and innovative hub in the USA by achieving 100% reliability, high-speed internet access, attracting one major industry, and enhancing both physical and digital infrastructure to solidify its role as the crossroads to the west. These efforts will empower residents and businesses to thrive while fostering transparency, inclusivity, and a sense of connection among all citizens.
I think 2030 is not aggressive enough. I think we just met with some site selectors this week. And I believe with the inland port and some of the other things that are going on, we can achieve, growth with industrial growth. I think is something that's just on our doorstep.
Oh, yeah.
I'd like to see us maybe be a little more aggressive in that 2030.
Well, or change it to 2 or 3.
I'd say 3.
3 industries instead of 1.
Yeah, because it's right there, and I'd like to know. Does anybody know what the percent of the city has has Utopia?
Utopia.
Is that 100% of the
I think it's 100%.
the build out is
build out? Well, the build out is still coming, but the established homes and everything. Jamie, do you have it out there?
We have what, sorry?
Utopia.
Yes.
You do? Okay.
So there's, it's,
Only on one side, though. It's weird. If you want me to elaborate.
Well, no,
On your
that's
canal-
okay.
On your,
Okay, hold on, though.
Yeah.
On the canal road, we have it. But my brother on Main Street cannot get it.
Oh,
Because
okay.
it's on the opposite side of the road.
Okay.
Unless he pays for it to come across the state highway, he can't have it and neither can those on this side.
nobody on the south side of the road
I
has
believe
it.
no, so far, because he was mad that we had it, but Kip paid. Kip paid everything he needed to pay to have it brought to his house.
Okay, all right.
So it looks like we're
Out of
not
his own
quite at
pocket, and
100%.
we took it from there, and now I believe all of us, I think John's in the process of possibly getting it in
Okay,
his house.
all right.
And as part of our development agreements or whatnot, Utopia
Yeah.
is part of that,
It's
right?
part of that.
It needs to be put in.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, yeah, it is, yeah.
So, if we're at, let's just say we're at 90% or, that kind of thing, then a goal of making sure that we're at 100% would be a great goal to have.
Well, there's two different things I think we need to talk about. Their build out is being accessible to people if they want to get it. I think your question is how many people have actually hooked into it?
Yeah.
That's two different issues.
How many,
And I'd like to know how many people have hooked into it. 'Cause
It was like 80%. 80% of those who are available to get on Utopia are on it.
Sounds a little high, but
Sounds high to me too.
I got a report. I can look it up.
well,
I hope.
Okay, well, and, I know this is,
It could be measured, engaged,
oh, yeah.
and we should be behind Utopia because we got the bill to pay, so.
and I've got here the most connected, accessible, and innovative hub in the USA, but I don't know how we'd ever prove that.
Well, it's a lofty goal, no doubt.
Put it up against like New York, that's definitely more accessible, connected, and innovative.
Well, by this write-up, yes, but maybe we need to do,
Yeah, that's not
but maybe, well, I'm sure that we have better internet service than they do, but,
general economic growth.
maybe we, for small site, maybe we get, well, are we rural still?
Class 4 city, class 3. What did we just go to? Class 4. Yeah.
Yeah, so maybe we need to tighten that up a little bit and be a little bit more specific in how we measure that.
More than 4 years to compete with New York. We got this.
Well, I think it'd be easier to compete with New York because we have a smaller population base.
Something that makes it more accessible.
Yeah.
So anyway, something to think about. All right,
To answer the Utopia question, we are right around 3,900 units available as of November of last year. And the total number of subscribers was right around 1,600. So that puts the percentage actually closer to 45%.
45.
Yeah. I don't know where the 80 came from.
but I don't know that we want to be specific in a goal to say, well, because it's their right to choose. I don't know that we want to say, well, we want close to 100% of all residents to be hooked up to Utopia.
Well, maybe the way to look at it is it's available to them.
Right.
And if they don't choose to do it, that's their business, but at least it's available to them.
There's a lot of them that's buying them Verizon boxes because when they move, they just pick up and go with that Verizon box, so.
So maybe measure build out is what
Yeah.
we need to be
Yeah.
addressing.
Get to 100% and maintain 100% build out as the city grows. And that would be part of that smart planning. Best place to work from home. I thought this was a really cool niche we could work on here in Tremont. And, with that kind of internet and connectivity, ensure 100% access. We just talked about that. Develop co-worker spaces and remote-friendly infrastructure. Increase resident satisfaction with internet services. I don't know that we have a baseline on that,
I don't think we can control that.
but maybe Utopia or maybe someone has a satisfaction baseline out there, and then we could see what we could do.
It's not 10 gig now, is it? It is? Oh.
If you want it.
Oh.
I think you gotta pay a little bit more for it, but I think 1 gig's the standard, isn't it?
280.
You got 250, 500, and
Yeah.
like 1 gig.
Yeah.
I just went through that last week.
I think there are some 10 gig available, but
Yeah.
through some companies.
But it is available, so. Digital and physical accessibility. Implement digital tools for government services, healthcare, education, and commerce. Partner with internet providers to ensure high reliable speed connection citywide. We already are.
We're making headway on that,
Yeah.
yeah, certainly are.
Transportation and travel connectivity. strengthen ties to aerospace. Now, I put aerospace in there because of our industry out there with Northrop. Why not, right? Railroads and major transportation routes, I-15 and I-84. Enhance infrastructure to attract cutting-edge transportation industries.
Could we add into that aerospace, railroads, and major transportation routes? Could we enter into that, or add into that, research universities? We've got, 2 research universities within an hour, 3 universities within an hour. It'd be nice to be able to develop those relationships a little further. I'll try to remember that, so that'll be maybe my suggestion.
Okay. Right here, okay, and then you wanted research. Research what?
Research, well, we enhance our relationships with basically USU and the U of U, Weber State, those 3 universities.
Okay. Okay. Identify and target one major industry. We moved that to 3.
What's major? How do we measure? Is it by tax base? Is it by jobs? Is it by?
Question.
You could specify by employees, a certain number of employees, maybe over
Over 100?
100 or over whatever, would be a major industry. I think all industries, all business would be, we want to look
Yeah, I'm just looking at how we measure that.
welcoming to all industry, whether major or local or whatever.
Okay, yeah, so we would want to define that for sure. Some suggestions are revenue contribution. There's a whole bunch of ways we could measure it, so.
Do you want to say anything about the inland port at this point? Is that something we want?
I don't know that we
Big
wanted
deal?
to-
Or is that something we don't need to talk about?
Well, I think it's a I think it's
Yeah,
a
tied in.
means to get to this, but I don't know that we ought to identify it as a goal because they're just a contributor to our goal.
It's the framework
Yeah.
that facilitates it, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's one of the cards you would pull out in a negotiation with a big tech company that, hey, here's an opportunity.
Provide competitive incentives, so I think we ought to come up with some really good incentives for our companies coming to town, and develop promotional campaigns to highlight Tremont's workforce potential and connectivity, i.e. A nice video or something, so that when someone goes out and starts to,
We're gonna have that in our arsenal now to most likely to be able to utilize that. So
so
make a video
that may be
quick.
part of that. Okay, moving on. It's all part of number 2 still. Offer incentives. Offer incentives for small businesses and local retailers. It would be fun to come up with a nice program that we can offer retailers that come to town, especially on our main street or whatnot. I think there's some real awesome things we can come up with. Maybe an economic district,
Saw grant.
SOT grants,
Yep.
those kind of things that could really help be some good incentives. Something I think we need to come up with. Establish entrepreneurship incubators and mentorship programs.
This is something I think we could work closely with the chamber on the incubator side of things. They're already kind of working on that in the Brigham City area. I know they were trying to get something in Tremont, but yeah, I couldn't agree with you more on the incubators.
One other idea too with Blackthorn Media. I passed the baton to him. He is the Silicon Slopes chapter president for Northern Utah. And so he could help lead some, incubators and tech space stuff via Silicon Slopes, and they give all sorts of resources. So he's the head, or he's the chapter president of that. So
Cool.
let's
Cool.
leverage that.
That's really cool.
Right. No? Let them come
You can leave
in.
it open. It's public meeting.
Yeah.
And then support downtown revitalization effort, downtown. Yeah, it could be downtown and Main Street, or I don't know. Let's play with that. But anyway, this is where we could build some of our Main Street goals into this one.
Sometime downtown's gonna get bigger,
Right, right.
so it's not gonna be second east, it's second west, so.
Economic and industry.
Can we add maybe something to think about? Have you started on like a standards for people inside of that? Like basically a brand that we want the buildings and things to fall upon?
We are literally working on it as we speak.
Beautiful.
Base code?
It is.
Okay.
Because then we can establish facade grants around those standards so that as we're offering to help improve the storefront, we know we're going to have a consistent brand via a set of standards that make sense,
Yep.
that look like we want our community to look. So
100%.
awesome. Good job.
It's all Jeff.
Go Jeff, go.
All right.
So are you talking like a theme?
Yeah, color palettes and, light standards. If you're going to have a light on the front of the building, it would follow
All
X
of the
standards.
above. Yep.
That's how when you drive through like a Heber city, everything looks consistent because they've set standards that you follow when you decorate the front of the building. And in order to get grant money, you have to meet and follow those standards. Otherwise, you don't get your grant reimbursement. So it encourages a common theme. Yeah.
Position Tremont as a hub of agriculture, manufacturing, and logistics innovation, and partner with aerospace and tech industries to attract investment and talent. And I think we could work very closely with
That's where
those
maybe where the
industries.
university part would come in.
Yeah, and then also get out there with Northrop and see if we can't partner with them a little bit more on a few things. Foster community and personal connection, develop vibrant public spaces for social and business interaction, and implement inclusive policies that attract families, businesses, and individuals. Okay, we might have time for one more.
I have one thing on that one.
Yes.
I sit on the chamber board as the advisor for Tremont City. And I would encourage you put something about possibly having a chamber office or space up here. We have talked to them several times about having more representation up here, but there is nowhere for them to come do it. We need to be more involved with the chamber. We can sponsor them or give them office space or something where when they come up here to do work, they have a place to do work. And then they can, when there's someone in the community that has questions, they can also go to that place during set business times to be able to have
One
those
day a
answers.
week or something, or are you looking at 5 days a week?
Nope, 1 or 2 days a week is all.
1 or 2
Yep.
days a week?
Yep, Monica already comes up, I believe, on every Wednesday to do work here, but her office is her truck because she just goes around to businesses and.
Or Jaden's office or somewhere like that, yeah.
Yep, yep. So if we could establish a place for that, then with the incubator space, they just bought the building on Main Street downtown in Brigham City, where they can do a lot of those things, then bring it back up here when it's ready.
We got one right there, Mayor. There's already one back there, right next to Greg's.
That's Dustin's
The only
office.
day you can't use that is Monday.
Well, you only use it on, yeah, you use it on Monday.
We can have it any day but Monday, so.
So I put a placeholder in there, and so if you
Yeah.
wanted to build some language on that, that'd be great.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, the chamber's a great asset, so.
Great. Big city services with a small town feel. Expand access to healthcare, education, and recreation while maintaining a small town charm. So this would be, some of this would be the working with our high schools, our elementary schools, our middle school, also with the universities. And then let's get, I think we can be more involved with our hospital. I think we can really.
They want to be.
I think so.
They want
So
to
I
be
think
more
we,
involved.
I think we can get more involved with all the healthcare, not just the hospital, but all the doctors in town and all that. And then, and recreation. And so, this is where you can go crazy, you know, at least in what you're asking for. Brand Tremont is a forward-thinking community with top-tier digital infrastructure. And Utopia, fortunately, is kind of put us on a top-tier level anyway. Okay, foster government transparency and citizen engagement. Launch a citizen idea board for residents to propose ideas, and in 2025, establish a community communication program for citizens to ask and receive questions. Answers. It'd be, yeah, something, you know, and then conduct regular town hall meetings and digital QA sessions. So I think we could establish more of a cadence and everything on that as we talk about it. But,
Zach, so I don't forget, put it on your notes that this healthcare and all that stuff, we could invite them to the farmer's market to pass out pamphlets.
They,
We've had some in the past that have come. USU has come with their nutritional things and passed out to kids and had story time with kids in the past. That's something we've tried to incorporate, and we'll continue.
we met with them this week with the hospital, and they specifically mentioned wanting to be to
More
participate
involved in
with
some
that farmers
community
market and
events,
be
right.
there to hand out.
Right.
As a
Oh, I didn't know
resource.
that, but
all right, and then on the next slide is the outcome. By 2030, Tremont City will be a highly connected, economically vibrant community serving as a model for digital accessibility, industrial growth, and inclusive civic engagement. So I think that's a good start on our subject. We got two of the pillars, we talked about them. Can I kind of challenge Bill and your department heads to go through these first two pillars?
Yep.
And start working on those and wordsmithing, and I also like to get the city council and the mayor to start going through, and let's ignore the last two, let's concentrate on the first two, so when we get together, we can.
This survey is really awesome. I love, there's a list here, 3/4 of the way down that says concerns in Tremonton. I think if we made sure we really focus on those top 15, the citizens are barely clearly told us how to improve that score.
Yeah.
Let's make sure that we've got these objectives with, you know.
And I think what we do on that is we come in and say, okay, we want to improve by this much. Now let's introduce these to the
Yeah.
department heads and say, here's where we can improve on that. Where can the department heads and the employees?
You know, the top three, two of them are water related. And I mean, Blackthorn Media, do we do a video about why our water is so good in Tremont? That'll
Yeah.
get out and change the perception,
Yeah.
you know?
And I do have, just so you know,
Have enough or not?
Yeah.
That's the big question.
Let's answer with facts and get it out there. And now when they get asked that question again,
We have good information on that, and I was going to report on that a little bit today as well.
which would be awesome for him to, you know, do a video and get that in front of people. I think half the time it's what they don't know.
And I think part of what all this needs to be is I think we're going to need to really look at our webpage and maybe find out if it's user-friendly enough and if we can make it a little easier for people to access these kind of videos and to get on and make public comment and get follow-up on answers and all that, you know. I don't know.
I think the issue with the website is just me, because I'm the one in charge.
Yeah,
of
and
it,
you need
so-
some help.
Yeah, if
Yeah.
we had someone, and that's something we've talked about just recently, where I have finally got past, as a director, past programming, and actually able to now start stepping into my real role, then I still have all these other responsibilities that
Yeah.
I need to get to
You
someone.
run the website?
Yeah, there's a lot that and so that's just one thing that if we had someone that dedicated just to that, 2 days a week or
Absolutely, yeah,
something,
yeah.
that's something we
And-
will improve drastically.
And I would encourage you, as we're going through this, to note those kind of things in there, because in order for us to get to this point where we can make those comments and we can interact with the community, we're going to need this, okay? And then let's work towards it. So, thank you, everyone, for your input, and please, I encourage you to get on these two and get back with me, okay?
I would love to meet with you sometime when we have a little time and go through some of this as well, so.
Okay. Thanks, Zach. Oh, you know what? You had a question earlier, and I didn't recognize you.
My question was,
You know, it goes by so
clarification
fast.
where it was talking about the 100%, is that 100% access or 100% reliability? Because the discussion,
On internet?
yeah,
Internet, just access.
Yeah,
so you just need to move the word access between.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
It sounds like we gotta get it down the south side of Maine,
yeah.
but where they're gonna be, yeah, I can't believe it's not there.
Do you have any questions on the
I
agenda?
know that.
Okay.
Council, are there any questions on the agenda that we needed to go briefly through? I think it's going to be fairly straightforward this evening, so
We don't need a closed session, do we?
no, we're not going to, oh, heck, we're going to, let's have a break, and we'll start at 7 o'clock sharp. And start our
Find
meeting.
somebody for the pledge, Mayor.
Uh, Good. All right. We're going to start a couple of minutes early. We'd like to welcome everybody out here for our policy session of our city council. We are thrilled that we've got so many in attendance. We're thrilled for you students, for your examples to our community. And so we're going to recognize you in just a few minutes. I've asked Councilmember Lewis if he'd offer a prayer, and then we're going to have Kaylani Perry, a student at North Crawford. I'm sorry, Perry Crawford, lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. So with that, Bo.
Yep. Our dear kind, beloved Heavenly Father, we come before Thee as neighbors and friends, and as a city council, we're grateful for the opportunity we have to come here and to set vision and become better. We pray that we will be guided and that we'll be able to be united in cause, is our prayer in the sacred name of Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen. Okay, Kaylani.
She's good right there. Say, please don't repeat after me.
Please repeat after me.
Say the flag.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thanks, Kaylani. Since we've got so many new folks in attendance, I thought I'd go through and just introduce council to you so you know who the city leaders are. Over to my left over here, we have our city manager, Bill Kobabe. And then over here on my left is Councilmember Bo Lewis, and then Councilmember Blair Westergaard, Councilmember Lyle Vance, me. Over here we have Councilmember Brett Rohde and Councilmember Wes Eastep, and then our city recorder Cynthia Nessen and Nelson. I'm sorry. These kind of things I sometimes, if you were to ask me who my wife is, I probably couldn't tell you right now. So, and then our recorder, our assistant city manager is Lindsay Nessen. And so these are the people that make the decisions from week to week and day to day. We appreciate their service and their efforts very, very much. Okay, we'll move on with our agenda. Council, are there any conflicts of interest with the agenda that we have on before us tonight?
No.
No.
Nope.
Okay, very good. Approval of the agenda?
I make a motion, we approve the agenda as written.
I'll second it.
Motion by Councilmember Vance and seconded by Councilmember Eastep. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. Thank you. Approval of the minutes for January 21st, 2025.
I make a motion, we approve the minutes.
Motion by Brett and seconded by Blair. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. Thank you. Okay, now this is our favorite part right now. So this is the part where we get to recognize our elementary and intermediate intermediate school students for their, and I'm just going to read this out so I get it right. Okay, it's for your citizenship. It's basically that you're good examples for the rest of us. But specifically what we're doing is we're recognizing you for your respect, responsibility, and safety. And those are all really important things that you can be doing in your schools. We hear sometimes things that are go on in the world today that we need to have you as good examples, which you are. And so we're going to go ahead now and present those certificates. And we have a little gift for you that you can go and get you something really good with, and so we'll go ahead and get started. And after we get done, while we're doing this, if we can have you come up, and that's, rather than go back and sit down, we'll have you come over here and stand and wait until we get a picture of everybody.
Need to bring the principals
Yeah,
up.
principals, come on up.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Good timing.
Oh, there we go. Thank you, everybody. Okay. First, we have Jenna Nielsen. Lucy Gilmore. Gary Croney. Lena Tonks. Maisie Jane Pally. Elijah Anaya.
Can I get it for him?
You bet.
Okay.
There you go.
Thank you.
You want to stand in the okay. Liam Bittner. Way to go. There you go, Liam. Laurel Munns. Thank you. Madden Neville. Give me a handshake. Give me a. All right. Keilani. All right. Open right here. Jack Nielsen. Axton Jukes. Phoebe Nessen. Great job. Caitlin Lewis. Good job. Sven Swenson. Seven? Is it seven? Seven. Congratulations. Very good. Did I forget anybody? All right, everybody. Thank you so much. We're going to try to get a picture taken and
And give the parents plenty of time to take pictures.
We allowed to lay down?
Just kind of get low and get back.
Why not?
thank you, everybody. Thank you.
Dave, it's all your wife, you know. Yeah. No, it's all your wife.
We all know. We all know. I only know him as Dirty Dave.
Hey, Roger.
Rod,
Dave could tell you all the internet.
That's what I hear. How'd he pull that off?
I mean, that's, oh, guys, he's,
Are you sad that everybody's leaving?
Yeah, why don't you stay?
some people are glad to see come, some people are glad to see go.
We're always,
I break stuff.
I lose it. I set it down, go back 2 seconds later.
wish I didn't get so nervous in those things.
You're doing good.
Oh, shoot. Thank you. All right. We'll go on with our rest of our agenda for this evening. I wanted to, we're going to go into our public comment period, and I wanted to kind of, I've done some research on that and looked into Robert's rules and got some ideas and that kind of thing, and I hope that it kind of coincides with what we're trying to do with some of the goals and some of the ideas that Brett's had. But with that, I'm just going to read a little statement. This kind of settles down a little bit. Okay. You know, the public comment period is not intended as a dialogue. It's instead enables the council, the mayor, and the staff to collect input from the community, serving as one, and it serves as a one-way communication channel for the council. These public comments provide feedback that the council will consider when making decisions. During this time, city leaders do not engage in discussions with the public. So that's a one-way, you're talking to us, you address us, you don't address the audience, that kind of thing. So to address your concerns and deal with some of the concerns that maybe the public might have when they do public comments, I recommend, and this is just a suggestion, that maybe you meet with the staff ahead of the meeting. Okay, maybe even a few days before the council meetings to share your thoughts or questions. These professionals, the staff members, are available to help you, to assist you. If your concern merits consideration by the council, the staff can add those to a future agenda. So those, that's kind of how that would work. Alternatively, you may address the city council tonight during the public comment period. And in this case, if you have questions that need to have answers, we have staff members who are here, and you can go and meet with them and share your concerns with them privately after the comment period. It was suggested as our last council meeting that we have a public comments follow-up, and this is something that we can work on and try to get going. But I think mostly we want you to be able to get your questions answered or your concerns, and that's why we've got staff members here who can, if you stand up and you want answers to your questions, they're here to answer those for you. with that,
Before you go on, I think the other thing that, and me in particular, we could do a better job of acting attentive and like we're listening. And so I think we love to get the comments, and we're not ignoring you. We can't comment, but we can listen.
yeah, that's the purpose, and try to understand that that's just the nature of the public comment period. It's not that we don't want to hear you, and it's not like we can't engage in a dialogue, but it's just the way the Roberts rules work and the way the public comment period works. So with that, the public comments, so this is your opportunity, and this is what I always say, this is your opportunity to address the city council regarding your concerns or ideas, and we'll keep the comments to 3 minutes or less. And the time is now yours. Yeah, right over here. And Jed, if you can just tell us your name for the people who keep the minutes.
I'm Jed Abbott, and I'm here for one purpose. I'm going to hand this to you, and then you can give that. We had a discussion the other day, you and I, about some names.
Yes.
These are the ones I've come up with so far.
Seriously? Wow.
I've had some pretty good help. There's just a quick list right there.
Jed, catch me up. Names for what?
Okay, this is people that we felt should have something said for them over at the memorial. A lot of these guys are POWs, they were killed in action, different things like that. There's a group of ladies there that were in the military too. And this is just a start as to what is available out there. And, of course, this is not exact, it's not perfect, because I haven't had a lot of time, but like I said, we talked about this, and these are just a few of the people that we feel that, are necessary to actually say something about. Some of them, I can't say that there's some that are more important than others, or less important. I mean, if you're killed in action, if you're a POW, you're a pretty important person. You've changed history. What do you say? You've put your life on the line. And if you've never done that and really put your life out there, you don't understand what it's about in a lot of cases. And so this is the start. There's many, many more we're finding out. Like I said, I've had some real good help. I've had some people along the way that have really said some uncomfortable things about us, that we've not done what we should do. We've not put this out well enough. They don't know how to contact us. They don't know how to make sure that their family members are on the plaques that are there, or the new ones that we need to put up. A lot of people just don't understand this, so somehow we've got to get this out a little better and do a better job, because you know what? It's just too important. And we have guys every day, I think there's like between 17 and 22 a day that are committing suicide. It's not a fun thing to be around. We had one just a few weeks back right here. And so it's because of what they've done and what they've experienced in their life. So it's really important to do this and make sure that these guys are recognized. So if you got any questions or anything.
Well, so will you get with me and we can, and with Zach, and we'll make sure we get this going for you.
Yeah, it'd be great if we could get things going a little better. Thank you.
Yeah, it'd be nice too if we can't get some kind of a communication going with the citizens and saying, hey, here's the place you can sign up. Come in and sign up. And we may have that in place now.
That's one of the biggest questions I've had and the biggest problems that I've had. Where do you go? What do you do? How do you do it?
Zach?
Can you answer all that, Zach?
Yeah, I can give some, sorry, I didn't hear your last question, but we do have a form that any veteran or military member from that left from the northern Box Elder County, so from Bear River City all the way up to the border, can fill out. All they need to do is fill that form out. Cynthia's actually pulling it up. It's on the website right there. It's a name addition form. It's under community. You go down to the Veterans Memorial. And then right there, that's the form. I had one just recently that was filled out from someone that is serving an LDS mission as a mission president in Guam. And he filled this out and sent it to me that his father and grandfather are on there. He served and he wants to get on also. So he sent me his DD 214 form. So he is on, we have that and he's ready to get put on. Haley, another gentleman came in today and got another form. And then a gentleman called me yesterday and is coming tomorrow to get another form. So this is the form. It's been here since 2015, I believe. All we need is the proof that they served and that they enlisted from the northern Box Elder County, and we can get them added now. Ever since 2022, before that, all we did was take names. There was no way to update that. But now we do have a way. We have about 1,200, I believe, spaces to add 1,200 more names to the memorial. All we need is this filled out so that we know who to put on there. And now that, we have 3 to put on now. If we get more of these, then we can add them as well.
I've got to get one for my son even. He's been in 2 different wars already.
Yeah.
Thanks, Zach.
Is there a cost to that, Zach?
So far the city has allotted $1,000 a year to the Veterans Memorial. However, discretion up to me. So the cost is $175 per name to add on to that. So we could realistically put 9 without going over budget a year into that. So.
Well, maybe after you get this list and with all these names and that, you just throw a budget item for next year to, let's get them all done.
9/10 of these are on
We
there.
would just need the forms and the
Tell you.
proof of service.
Okay.
More did you say there were that you've already got? 1,200?
We've got room.
No, that's
We've got
how many
space.
more names space
Okay,
we have
space.
from when we updated in 2022.
Right.
Because from 2001 when it was created, it wasn't intended to be added on to. In 2022, we had 75 names that we needed to add. So we found a way to get those on. That cost us $10,000 to do that. Now, if we do one name at a time, the old way, it would be $1,200 per name. So this new way where it's just one plaque that we can put on, it's $175 per name.
Because we bought 4 plaques or something, right?
Correct.
Or no, more than 4, wasn't it?
There's 4 blank
4 blanks. That's right.
plaques that we can screw through and then screw a new name onto is how it is.
Send them off
Yep.
for names.
Yep, we just haven't had it come through until very recently.
Okay, well, thank you, everybody. Thanks, Jed, for bringing that to our attention, and we'll make sure we get something done there. New council business, discussion and possible action of adopting ordinance number 25-02, amending the Tremonton City Land Use Code, Chapter 1.07, residential zone districts, and Chapter 1.31, rezoning of property.
Let's see, where was we at?
Go ahead.
Any questions?
I was waiting for you. Do you, I do have one question. It's minor, it's a typo. But it's what I did in my career. On section 1.07035, it talks about the role of 4-H within the community, allowing them to have 4-H projects and that kind of thing. The only thing I would say is, let's just say 4-H and FFA. You just have to know the relationship between the 4-H program and the FFA program, and they're separate and distinct. And so I would just ask for you to wherever 4-H is mentioned, say 4-H and FFA. I know that's minor, but it is
No,
important.
that's a great
Important. Yeah.
fix, or,
Well, because, there's, FFA is something totally separate from 4-H.
If you would make that a condition of the approval when you go to make the motion, we'll make sure that gets changed in the.
I would appreciate that.
I think this is a really cool addition to our city, with it being an ag city and also with the fair here locally. The other thing that's important about this, I know that we've worked on a planning commission level, is that when the fair's over, the animals go. And that's very specific in here. And so they can't be harboring them as pets or whatnot, especially, the animals here that are listed. So.
The other part I like about it, for in town, if you're out on 5 acres, that's a different story, but in town, we don't have large animals, and I think that was a great catch by you guys, not to allow for the steers and larger animals to be, it doesn't make sense to have them on a third of an acre, so.
Bring the agenda up. What resolution is this?
2502.
Ordinance or resolution?
Ordinance.
Ordinance. Okay, I make a motion that we adopt ordinance 2502 with the change that anywhere it's listing 4-H, it also lists FFA.
I second it.
Motion by Brett and seconded by Lyle. Let's see, we'll start with you, Wes.
West side.
Brett, aye. Yes.
Lyle Vance, yes.
Blair, yes.
Oh, yes.
Very good. Motion passes. Thank you, everybody. The only other item we have on our new council business is discussion and possible action of adopting resolution number 25-03, approving a professional services agreement with Blackthorn Media LLC, filling the duties of a digital content creator. Let's see, Bill, do you want to, I think we're all kind of.
Yeah, we had a presentation
We
last
had a-
meeting a couple of weeks ago.
up on this. So.
If I may, Bo, what's your thoughts on this?
Oh, I am so excited. Tonight, there's been 3 things that I assumed, you know what, that's a great way, for example, the memorial plaque right now. A post about that, how much we love our veterans, it kills 2 birds with 1 stone.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
it's
We do
telling the
have-
community what we care about. At the same time, it's gathering the information. And, I know there have been efforts, but there's a lot of strategy in social media and how to get reach. And so I think this is a great move.
You want to follow that up with a motion?
Yeah, I do.
I don't think there would be any more appropriate.
I motion that we adopt resolution 2503 approving a professional services agreement with Blackthorn Media LLC, filling the duties of a digital content creator.
I'll second it.
Motion by Bo and seconded by Wes. Let's see, Brett.
Brett, yes.
Lyle Vance, yes.
Blair, yes.
Bo, yes.
West, yes.
Okay, motion passes. That finishes our new council business.
May I?
Yeah.
Does he know how to do websites?
I don't know.
We don't know. He's more of a digital content creator and not necessarily a website administrator. So it could be something that in his wheelhouse, but
Hi, Zach.
Hey, how's it going?
Zach, you got something to say?
I do, if you don't mind. So as the content creator, he creates the content and then it falls on city personnel and staff to post the content. And get it out
Post.
there.
Yep.
You
And
may not
prioritize.
have, heard that said, but as the one currently doing that, and as you can tell, I have not done a good job. Best and try to continue to do better with that. It is easier when we have the content, but obviously he's going to have to get the content from someone, and if it's
We
coming
still have to
from me,
prioritize the
he's not gonna-
content.
Yeah.
Deliver the content. Yeah.
So he delivers to you. Do you kind of feel like you're the editor too? Do you watch the stuff before you put it on there?
Yeah.
Good.
As best I can, but I'm not an English major. I'm far from it. I'm a recreation.
What tools are you using to do that right now?
To
deliver content? Are you going straight to the app itself?
As in social media?
Yeah.
Yeah.
To the
Yeah,
website.
we don't have like a multimedia like Hootsuite or anything. We don't have any
Okay.
of those.
Canva, campaign scheduler.
Yeah, we do have a Canva account. It is through the library, and I just piggyback off their account. So it is a Premiere account. I use Adobe Illustrator as my content creation platform. I mean, it's all the content creation is just time consuming, right? And then
Yeah.
posting it is another time consuming portion. So that is something that we mentioned before in the work session that we've hired a community events coordinator. She does also have a background in media or in marketing. So if I work with her, I feel that we'll be able to get this content that's created and pushed out in an effective manner, working with her.
Just an idea would be there's a way, there are tools, social media tools where Instagram, Facebook, all of it is all in one platform, and you can pre-schedule, preload it, and on that day it just posts automatically. And I think if we were to queue it up that way.
So through Meta, that's something we've used in the past. So.
Okay.
Yep.
And I would suggest, Bill, you guys to maybe put together some ideas on getting some help and what the budget might be on that and how much time you might need.
Yeah, so right now so what I will propose to city manager is going to be my community events coordinator, who does have that marketing background. She's only been here 2 weeks or less, right? So with this, we changed her title to communication and events coordinator, and then add a 0.25 FTE to her job title for that social media or marketing to be able to post these, and then still be under the full 1 FTE. Then she'll be at 1.7 or 0.75 FTE, so we should be fine there.
And she would be able to go in and handle the website and take care of the website?
No, that would only be social media.
Where's the site? Where is our site hosted?
So we have our own server that hosts our site. It's through, but X Mission is our provider, right? And then, yeah,
WordPress site?
is the software.
Okay.
So is that something you want to continue managing, or did you want someone to come in and take care of the website separate from you or along with you?
The website, I mean, Cynthia, Lindsay, we all kind of tag team it. I do a lot of the digital content, basically, is what I do, and then I create basically what this company is going to do is kind of take over my portion, but then that's just for the social media. When it comes to the website, I feel, I don't know, it'll just be communication. Maybe they can do the same thing. But,
okay.
Yeah.
Personal opinion, the website's in great shape. I think you're doing a good job there. I don't know that we have a lot to do
And
on the website.
what do you think it is, Zach? It's probably
2015 is when
years
it was
old
created,
now.
so it's 10 years old this year.
How many?
10.
It's 10 years old now. Okay. All right. Thanks, Zach. Okay, consent agenda. We're going to approve the, council, it's up to you to approve the adoption of the December warrant register, the financial statements, adoption of impact fees, schedules, and the impact fee scheduled increases, the cancellation of the Economic Development Coordinator contract, and discussion and approval of the interim fire chief candidates. And we can maybe talk a little bit about that. I think everybody is probably okay with the rest of it, but we have Sean Jensen and Andy McBride have agreed to serve as the interim fire chief candidates, or interim fire chiefs. They will share that responsibility, and they both are very excited about it. Sean with the part-time firefighters and EMS, and then Andy working with the full-time. So we have somebody representing both sides of it. They're excited about it, by the way. And that's, okay, so anyway, present the council, the consent agenda to you.
Before we vote on that consent agenda, Cynthia, the Zions bank card, how's that working out? Are we still getting, what do we get paid back on that? Is it 3%?
I don't remember the percent. It's like, yeah, they used to do it annually and now we get it like every other month. It's kind of random when we get it. The last time it was like $1,100 in cash back after 2 or 3 months. So
Okay, it's still,
it's been right around like $3 or $4 grand a year we get back.
is it hard for everybody to use it? Because I mean, that's a great thing for the city to run everything through that, the way the game is played with credit cards.
They hit us up about once a year to hit up all of our vendors to see if they'll take credit cards without charging a fee or, and most of the time they charge a fee, so.
Make a motion that we approve the consent agenda.
Motion by Lyle Vance. Seconded by Blair. Let's see, Lyle, you're up.
Lyle Vance, yes.
Larry, yes.
Bo, yes.
Wes, yes.
Brett, yes.
Okay. Thank you, everybody. Calendar items. Let's see, Bill, do you want to, or let's see, Cynthia.
Don't steal my pen.
Let's give it back to you.
Next council meeting on the 18th.
Let me see.
I don't know, this would probably be an appropriate time to say this. On February 13th, Senator Scott Sandell has invited the Borgstrom family and some veterans and others down to the Senate. Will be voting on the Borgstrom Brothers Memorial Highway. It's kind of a big deal, but that'll be on the 13th at 11 o'clock down in the Senate chambers down at the Capitol. That'd be the only thing I have to add to that. Okay, anything else there? Okay. Darn. Well, let me go back up to the top. Dang it.
One thing wasn't there, Mayor, was my retirement at the end of the month.
Well, okay.
How come that wasn't on the agenda or the, calendar? Wes's life begins March 1st.
Chapter 2.
Beginning of the end.
Can't we find a technicality and keep him here?
I have
Public Works,
I have
you
a
can't.
motion.
Yeah.
What's your motion? He just stays.
Are there any unfinished business items that we need to discuss? Okay, hearing none, we'll go on to reports. Let's see, Bill, you want to give us some?
Yeah, this is just maybe a little bit more of a personal note, but this morning I got to present to my daughter's school. She's homeschooled, but she does like a little co-op thing where they get together with a bunch of other kids her age, and just have one day a week where they all get together, and that's fun for. But I got to go today to that group and talk about what's going on in Tremont and some of the cool things that we're doing and some of the things I get to see and be a part of, and just what a neat thing we're doing here in Tremont. What an amazing opportunity it is to grow personally and to work with incredible people and just get the work of the city done. It's a great time to be at Tremont, and I was just so tickled to finish that, come into the office today, and things are just humming and buzzing, and everyone's happy-ish mostly. And looking at you, Jeff, we're good? Yeah, thumbs up from Jeff. So today's a good day. Today's a good day. And anyway, it was really cool. It's an honor to serve with you, the people of Tremont. And that's what I started the presentation with, is I said, who would you think is the most important person in our city? And they, different answers. The president, the mayor, that kind of thing. And I said, actually, what are the first three words of the Constitution of the United States? And they knew it. It was pretty cool. They knew it. They said, we the people. And I said, so that tells me that you 12-year-olds in this class are the most important people in the city. And we work for you. And yeah, so that was cool. It was just, it's a little personal note, but we're doing some great things, and it's fun to be a part of it.
All right, DRC. Bill, Jeff, do you have anything to report for DRC? Department head reports. Let's start with Zach. We've heard from you all night long.
You get more time. Go ahead, Zach.
Go ahead.
Okay, should I come here? So, as mentioned, was a little bit about the daddy-daughter dance. So I wanted to hit on programs first. We had nearly 600 in attendance at the Daddy-Daughter Dance. It was our 9th year hosting it, and it has grown almost every year. We had one dip 2 years ago or so, but 600 is the biggest we've ever had. So it is a tradition that continues to grow, and if it continues to grow too much, we'll have to figure out something.
Where are we gonna move it to?
Let's build a rec center. I don't know.
Yeah, we'll have you one in a year, Zach.
There's really nowhere else to move it to. With Junior Jazz at 800 participants, we're already in 7 courts on Saturday. We use every gym in the northern Box Elder except for the Garland Armory and Fielding, so we're already at capacity almost with that. We're there from 8 a.m. till 2, 3 in the afternoon. So we're running out of space, and we need more space for that, especially with how big of a sports community that we are. The community uses every gym for comp sports, for practices during the week, except for the fairgrounds. They kind of try to reserve that for us for practices and pickleball, but every gym is used every night of the week except for some of them on Sundays, But yeah, so basketball's at 820 participants. Karate has started and it's going in full swing. We're using the Public Works building for that. Spring youth and adult soccer registration is open. Youth volleyball registration is also open. We're bringing back our adult fitness program, the Slothathlon, this year. It is revised from previously how we've done it, but we do feel a need to start our adult fitness programs back up, and so that's in the works right now. We mentioned a little bit about the wellness survey. I won't go into that, but I feel we all understand kind of where we are. But also with that, I mentioned in the workshop that I would like to meet with each council member just to go over your goals and your perspectives on the community, the wellness within the community, and how Parks and Recreation fits within that, and what we can do to improve on that score with Brett's goals, and make those all of our goals. I think that's the goal with that. Then with that, the wellness survey, a year ago I presented a little bit about our level of service on the parks which is our acreage to the amount of residents that we have. Then it was at 3.6, I believe. In 2022, when we did the integrated land use plan, we were at 3.7. A year ago, we were at 2.9, and currently we're at 2.5. So the low standard is at 6. 6 acres per 1,000 resident, and we're currently at 2.5 acres per 1,000 residents. So we have 3 proposed parks, but that would still only get us up into the 4s. So we need to continue to expand our park service and continue to elevate the acreage of leisure and recreational space within our community. Along with that, we do want the public's engagement portion of that. So as we move forward, I have done a little research. I cannot find since I know Rhett Ogden pretty well. He was our first Parks and Recreation director. He started, I believe, in 1998. In 2008, when he left, he was planning a rec center and did a feasibility study. Since then, there hasn't been any talk of it, but I hear it from the community all the time. We have several years ago, Bragg did a community needs assessment over the entire Bragg region, which is from Box Elder County all the way Cache and Rich. So it wasn't just for Tremont. I find no record of ever having done a community needs assessment within Tremonton City. So I have reached out to Sam Taylor, and we are currently trying to get a proposal. He sent me back a proposal. We're trying to figure out funding and how to move forward with that to have a needs assessment done, which is facilities, parks, amenities, different things that the community wants. We'll be doing open houses with those. We'll be doing community involvement and different surveys too, so that we can show you guys.
Survey at Junior Jazz.
The numbers. Yeah, for sure. That'll be a good part of it, is reaching out to the entire population. So with that needs assessment, we're also working on doing a community or a facilities condition assessment. The current facilities that we have, how well are they servicing the community that is here? Are we mowing grass just to mow grass, or are people is it inviting enough for people to want to go to the park to use? If not, how are we going to address the needs to make it so? When it comes to building a community, it used to be people did it through bars or they did it through church. Those were the main ways that people used to find their group of friends, their community, individual communities. So when we talk about community, there's different levels. Now people are finding less, or going to church less. God's not in their lives as much. They're going to bars less also, though. So they're kind of in a neutral spot where parks are the only place for them to go. Especially with the new residents that move to town, they have nowhere to find new friends. If they're not going to church or to a bar, they're not going to the parks either, because we don't have much park space and is inviting for them to do it. I feel that's why our net promoter scores may be so low. So we are doing a facility condition assessment to see what our actual maintenance deficit may be. I feel it may be in the millions. With what we currently have, not saying what we could also do in the future.